I wanted to share with you guys my super easy pour over recipe and how I think about adjustments. Alright, for beans, we will be using these beans from Paradox Coffee Roasters. It is a Sidra Bourbon in an anaerobic natural. So my approach for this type of coffee is lower temperature. So I think I'm going to be brewing at 92 degrees Celsius and a bit of a coarser grind than I would for a washed coffee. So we're doing 15 grams in for this one. So I'm just gonna do some WDT here. And we are grinding this on the Timemore Chestnut C5 Pro. For the grind size, as you can see, we are 1 full revolution. So that is a 16 setting. That I think is around medium coarse. I feel like Timemore is one of those really solid budget brands when it comes to grinders. In this category of like 100 USD-ish, this is one of the grinders that you sort of hear all of the reviewers recommending. Or you could also use an Easy Presso Air. That's another one that I know has been pretty highly recommended. Or something from King Grinder. But around this budget, Timemore is also really good. Now, in terms of how I'm going to be brewing, I'm just going with a Timemore theme. This is a Timemore Crystal Eye dripper. It has the same sort of shape as a Hario V60, so any conical dripper should be fine for this recipe, and I'm just using a 1-cup server. Now let's add in our filter. I'm using filters from CAFEC, so the Abacas are really good, the T90s are also really fast. I do have a preference for faster flowing filters because I do multi-pour recipes, and therefore faster flowing filters will just prevent clogging. I have used slower filters like the T92s, and while I have been able to produce some pretty good cups with them, I think for my brew style, the faster flowing filters are just better. And we'll just give this a few taps, and now we will start our recipe. So this recipe is super simple. It is just 4 pours, and we will take it to 240. So my first pour will be up to around 45 to 50, and then I will just give this a swirl and do a bloom of around 45 seconds. All right, now we are pouring to 120. This is our second pour. And as you can see, I'm sort of pouring at the flow rate around 4 to 6 grams per second. This is a pretty nice scale because it gives you flow rate, but if you don't have one, that's fine as well. You can just sort of practice and see how fast or slowly you can pour and adjust accordingly. And now I am just going to do my third pour. As you can see, this is draining quite fast because I'm doing a medium coarse grind. This pour is now up to 180, as you can see here, and I think we should be able to finish this brew between 2 minutes and 2 minutes 30, which is fine because it is a relatively highly processed coffee. And what I've found is that with highly processed coffees, they're a bit more soluble. And so you can grind coarser, you can have a faster brew time, but still extract a lot of those goodies. So now we're pouring to 240 with our final pour. And as you can see, we finished all of our pouring in the 2-minute mark. I'll give that a swirl just to flatten the brew bed. I honestly don't know how much that does, but I just do it anyway out of habit and because I like the appearance of a nice brew bed. But that's pretty much it. See, we have finished our brew at around the 2-minute 20 mark. So one other step we can do here is what is called post-brew mineralization. Now this is an optional step, but if you want to take your coffee to the next level, there are these mineral brands. So one of them is Apex Labs. I think they must be one of the pioneers of this, where you can add minerals to your coffee after brewing, and they act as almost seasonings. So I'm gonna do a few drops of this lilac, which is meant to enhance floral notes, and I will just add 2 drops to my coffee to really bring out the floral notes that it supposedly has. And we'll just give that a swirl, and this is pretty much ready. All right, let's just pour this out now into a little wine glass. For me, that's just right. It tastes like strawberry ice cream for me, but really it's the coffee doing the work, and that's sort of how I have evolved my pour-over recipe over time. I like to keep many of the variables constant and just maybe adjust temperature or grind size along the way, but the core recipe that I have pretty much stays the same, because really it's about the coffee